So yeah, those who've joined in the last couple of weeks or last month or 2 months or so, they will know that I recently joined the local MMA sort of fight club, and I've been training BJJ, gi and no gi. I've been training a bit of Thai kickboxing, boxing, a bit of MMA stuff, which is a mixture of everything plus the wrestling. So yeah, I've been doing that for the last sort of 2 months or so, or month and a bit. I can't remember now. And I've been reporting back to you guys because that was one of the main criticisms that my channel always got. Even though it was a traditional martial arts conditioning channel, people always used to come onto my channel and be like, oh, you don't know what it's like to spar people, and you don't know what this and this. And I always used to say to them, well, actually I do, because I've been involved in lots of martial arts. I've done jiu-jitsu, I've done taekwondo, I've done karate, or over the years I've been doing martial arts for 28 years, since I was like 5 years old. So, but you know how the fickle world of YouTube is. And then people used to carry on saying those sorts of things to me. And I used to say, well, actually, the only reason I'm not doing those things is because I'm not in a place where I can do them. But anyway, fast forward now to 2020, and it's awesome. I'm in a place where I've got a local fight club just up the road, and for all my traditional martial arts fans there, I'm still continuing my traditional martial arts conditioning regime. And in fact, that's part of the reason that I make this set of videos, is I'm trying to take Iron Body martial arts and show our friends who do MMA and who do sport combat and stuff like that, traditional Kung Fu and traditional martial arts training methods, or people who've trained them, haven't wasted their time. So what better way to do that than for me to go and do something that I love, which is martial arts, and see if in the last 12 years or whatever it's been, or 19 years or 28 years or whatever you want to call it, somehow I'd forgotten, because this is what people were saying, somehow I'd forgotten kind of what the real world was. Or a caveat to that is I'm also a 12-year serving police officer in 2 different countries. So I've served 7 years in one country, in the UK, and now 6 or so years here, so in Australia. So yeah, but still I was getting these people coming along saying, look, you don't know what a real fight is, you don't know what life is, you don't know what danger is. I don't know what planet these people live on, but anyway, besides the point, it doesn't matter. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying training, the MMA training that I'm doing. So yeah, I've brought you these sets of videos where every couple of weeks or so, I've been saying sort of what are the good things, what are the bad things, what have I been surprised of. So if you, some of them are a bit long, but if you haven't checked those videos out, just go and check them out, have a listen, put it on when you're driving to work or something, send me your opinions. Treat it like a little bit of a podcast, like a one-man podcast. So have a bit of a listen. So look, the long and short is that, now 2-something months in, and on that point, I got my new jiu-jitsu gi, which I'm enjoying. It's a Viking gi. I just got it. I wore it for the first time today. I was wearing an old gi that everyone was complaining about because it was an old karate gi. So I really like this Viking gi. I got it on sale. I think it was just about 100 Australian dollars. It's nice, it's just classic. But boom, until you open it out on the inside, and it's got this crazy kind of Viking pattern and all that craziness going on in there. So yeah, awesome, traditional, and then modern and crazy on the inside, but it doesn't matter. I think it's a bit cool. It's just nice to have another gi of a different kind. I've always loved these thick judo gi or jiu-jitsu gi. I've just never had an excuse to wear one, and now I do, so that's awesome. On a side note of that, the wrestling and the no-gi stuff is also awesome to do. Yeah, so you're not always just learning about the gripping of the clothing. So I've kind of covered a lot of different stuff over the weeks, and again, I want to say this week, the general consensus is, guys, no surprises. I've always talked about being a well-rounded martial artist, about developing your endurance. I've always trained in a number of different disciplines of martial arts, and I bring that into iron body martial arts, which is what this is. So yeah, I'm not having any surprises. It's awesome training with people. It's awesome having little spars with people. I had a spar with a guy, a bit of a Muay Thai style spar the other day, which was cool. You know, it's really great. But I'll say this for you guys. You know, the conditioning training, the iron palm, the shin training, the body training, it really helps. You know, it just makes you a bit more resilient. It makes you a bit tougher. It makes your hits a little bit harder. So it just helps. It helps when you're training with people and they're just like, oh, there's something different about that guy. You know, but it's not going to make you Superman. And you know, you're still going to come across people who are bigger than you, stronger than you, whatever than you. Like I always say, you can only be a best version of yourself. Yeah, me doing these things is better than the me who doesn't do these things. Yeah, and if you add to that this sports combat kind of training that a lot of people value so highly, you know, you've got a good package. There's no real difference. This is another thing I want to say. I think people place a lot of MMA stuff on like such a high pedestal. And all I want to do, I want to say, bring that down, bring everything down. There's really no difference than doing that or going to like a karate club. The good thing about the MMA style stuff and the fight club stuff is that you're just drilling basic stuff over and over. Yeah, you're training it over and over. Movement. You're training. It's cool because you're kind of training awesome stuff that people like me who enjoy kung fu train. But a lot of kung fu people don't seem to train anymore, or some kung fu people don't train, or the ones that get represented on here getting beaten up don't train, like movement. You know, movement patterns. You know, the amount of times, how many times in traditional kung fu have you done the diagram, like 8 diagram movement on the floor where you're moving your feet, you're going this way, you're going that way, you're going this way, and you're changing your feet over, you know, and there's similar exercises in karate. And then I go to an MMA lesson, and we're there just standing there like moving back, moving forward, skipping to the side, you know, changing legs, and it's the same thing. So that's what I wanted to tell people. You know, we need to really unite here and just be like, guys, this is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So what have I learned over the last couple of weeks? Well, I've learned a lot about injury. Wrestling and injury. It's a funny world, guys, for this video. Jiu-jitsu, BJJ, ground wrestling and stuff is like some of the most injury prone stuff. I've already like twizzled my toe and I've had to like tape up my toe. Luckily my fingers have remained fine because of all the iron palm and stuff training. So there's a help to you already. So I did twizzle my toe, but I didn't twizzle it as badly as it probably could have get twizzled. And the iron palm and gripping stuff's been great. Any kind of breath control, that's a whole nother video. But I want to talk about Qigong for MMA and stuff, and any kind of breath control. Now, when I say MMA, for all my traditional fight friends out there, please just insert real life, self-defense, insert all those same topics in there like one big cassette, because that's basically what I'm saying is a cover-all, you know. So what I've found is, but I'll do a whole nother video on it, but what I've found is that the breathing exercises and the Qigong and being able to control your breath and your state of being a little bit really helps with any kind of choking, any kind of crushing, any kind of wrestling maneuvers that people put you in, because usually when another person would be hyperventilating and giving up, you can learn to be calm and survive. Now, that's not a skill unique to Qigong, and people who just train Jiu-Jitsu will learn that naturally, but it's something I've found out that's helped me. Obviously, I used to do it somewhat in the Jiu-Jitsu that I used to do, but this is also, I found it's helped. People putting rear naked chokes on you, and you can just survive them for as long as you need to find a little gap to escape. So that's cool. What else? Yeah, injury wise. Recently, I've been off for about 5-10 days from jiu-jitsu and from wrestling and from the fight club because I twinged my side. I pulled, not twinged my side. I pulled a muscle, like an intercostal muscle and like a diaphragm muscle or something. It was funny. I couldn't cough. I couldn't sneeze. It was horrible pain. And I just did it doing silly leg escape. Like, you know, the jiu-jitsu shrimping where you lie on the floor. Yeah, you know, yeah, being a beginner to those sorts of things, someone was on top of me and I just pushed and I misjudged the sort of the stickiness of it, or I misjudged the ability of my body to do that maneuver because it's a bit of an alien maneuver to me, although I have been practicing it, you know, on the floor like you do when you warm up. But yeah, so I got a pretty good, like, twisted one side and pulled the other and just twisted my muscle real bad. So luckily no tears or anything like that, but there's a lesson for you there. You know, you got to be careful, yeah, you know, because that's another thing, you know, I guess in a lot of traditional martial arts stuff, you know, even in clubs and stuff, you know, unless you're sparring, you're not going 100%, or you're never really going 100%. So it's a cool thing about wrestling and jiu-jitsu is that's one of the few things where you can really put all your muscle and all your power into it, and your technique, of course, and you know, you can really have a good go without anyone getting really that much injured. But the caveat to that is you can get injured, like me, you know, twisting my side. So it's really funny, the injuries that you can pick up. Of course, when you go to any jiu-jitsu, you guys will know there's all, and I remember it from the traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu I used to do. There's all a host of people, poor people with like bust knees, hyperextended elbows, broken like collarbone, horrible injuries happen. So you just got to be careful. It's a minefield. So big respect to all the jiu-jitsu guys out there, because BJJ guys, because yeah, I've been doing like between 17 and 19 years of freaking iron body conditioning training and strike training, and I'm finding myself getting injuries like that in jiu-jitsu. You know, like just like bang, you know, like someone can kick and punch me and I'm like do, and then you wrestling someone and you twist like this, and it's kind of like under the torsion of your own body, boom, you pop a little injury. So yeah, interesting times, but thankfully I'm fine, nothing serious. I think I twinged a knee as well way back when I first started. So it's cool. You learn the limitations of your body. But then that's another reason why, you know, in a lot of martial artists and in a lot of self-defense programs and in a lot of things like that, they do warn you against going on your back, going to the ground, because here we go. Someone like myself who's you know, experienced with really having to wrestle people in real life, who's also done a lot of martial arts and a lot of striking and a lot of, you know, traditional jiu-jitsu and rolling and break falling and ukemi, but still, when I specialize in just kind of being on the floor and doing jiu-jitsu stuff, the way you have to move, the different kinds of ways, I still managed to twinge my side. So no one's foolproof from anything, but what have I learned from it? Well, as soon as I recover, and I'm slowly recovering now, I went back to jiu-jitsu today. I'm gonna just concentrate on that core. I'm gonna concentrate on I've already got a nice set of full range of motion, stretch, flexibility exercises to use. I'm gonna introduce some weights in there. I'm always formulating. There's a few cool traditional martial arts exercises too for training that full range of motion in the core. We can go into at some time. So yeah, guys. So that's my update. That's my gi update. I'll put the gi on. That's my gi update, or my update for this episode of IBMA at the MMA gym. I would have liked to maybe have gotten a bit of a bigger one. Yeah, that's my update today for that. A few things that we've spoken about. Yeah, this and that and the next thing. But But yeah, training's going good. I'm enjoying it. And the main message I want my traditional friends to take away, and the main message I want any MMA and jiu-jitsu guys to take away who are watching this, is that it's, you know, coming from the traditional martial arts world into your guys' world with a bit of a fight attitude in my brain, or a bit of cleverness, you know, or what, I don't know, cleverness, not cleverness. I'm not clever. But you know, there's no surprises. I haven't been surprised. And the reason I haven't been surprised is because I haven't allowed that false martial arts ego, my style's better than your style, but I won't do something that I'm uncomfortable with mindset to set in. And I'll tell you just before I go, no one will be listening anymore, but I'll tell you just before I go where I've come across similar things like this recently is, I think I made a video about like how the horse stance training and stuff, and I'll make another one, is being great for takedown defense. Well, I've had a lot of people prior to me joining this flaming me for doing traditional stances, for doing horse stance, for doing that training, and they're like, oh, that's rubbish, that wouldn't work, why would that even work, it's rubbish, MMA guys will throw you all over the place. And now here I am in a fight club, in an MMA fight club, doing training with people like, you know, all different mixed bag of people, different sizes, different shapes, different skill levels. But one thing I'm finding is the stance work that I brought forward from the traditional martial arts training is great for takedown defense and stability on the floor, for wrestling, for weight distribution. It's great. So there we go, guys. What can I say? It's awesome. When you do a little bit of everything, you can have a good time. Anyway, guys, look, have a good one. Safe training to you all, and I hope you're all safe out there with this COVID-19. Thanks to the Patreon guys who support the Patreon channel. I'm going to be updating something on there too. Also, please check out my video of the Iron Body Martial Arts Iron Hand course that's coming out soon on Udemy, that I'm really proud of, which funnily enough, I made the course, and I had the footage, but I had time to finally edit and make the whole course whilst I was recovering from my pulled muscle. So yeah, I put a negative to a positive, so that's good. Anyway, guys, this has been an extremely long video. Have a good one. Try not to be too bored. I'm going to stop gassing on now, and I'll catch you guys all around. Good training, everybody.